Welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's going on, dude? How are you?
Oh, Derek Crusoe.
We're matching.
Stop.
Why do
I'm making adjustments. You can't make adjustments when I make physical adjustments. Why are we inside of each other's heads? I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm getting adjusted, and then same time I look over and you're doing the same thing. Why? Why are we matching? Why are we wearing the same clothes all the time? I'm not mad about it. I love you to death. I'm not mad about it. I just don't understand why. We go in these spurts. Everything is fine, right? Like, we're not in sync. Why is there a remote on the table? We're not in sync, right? You wear your thing, I wear my thing, originality, and then we'll go weeks. Derek. What happens? And then all of a sudden we match again. And then you're wearing your clothes that I want to wear. Oh, there's no chance he's going to wear this. He hasn't worn this in forever. And then we match.
It's because we spend 3 days a week together every single week. We're bound. The math peeps statistically say it's bound to happen.
I don't like it.
So that's how it works. I mean, we just are the same person. I don't know what else to tell you. We are... Mike is Derek and Derek is Mike, you know? It's just one and the same at this point.
Yeah, maybe. How are the audio levels? Are we okay? I can't really hear myself.
You can't?
No. I don't know why.
I think it's because you're deaf.
Well, we could talk about it. I don't really want to, but we could.
You can't hear yourself at all?
No, now I can.
Oh.
It's better now.
Okay.
Definitely better now.
I didn't really do anything.
Perfect. You want to shout out to sponsors? I tried last week. I was so mentally tired I couldn't even speak. And then you let me suffer. You didn't pick up the slack. You're like, hang yourself. You know, like, just eliminate yourself from this podcast.
That's how we do it here, because that's where the comedic effect comes in. If we were a polished podcast, no one would listen. No one listens right now. But the few people that do listen because it's funny and they're looking for those screw-ups. Right?
Sure. So... Addie's, thanks for your logo.
Oh, so you're going to do it? Got it.
Queen City Creative Works is a family-owned Etsy shop on roids that makes customized products for you. We have some here, obviously. If you're in the mood to help support two different local small businesses, feel free to head over to queencitycreativeworks.com. Click the Shop Now button on their homepage of their website, and then you can buy coasters, water bottles, and bottle openers.
It's pretty high, bro.
What's high? The volume?
Yeah. You see that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Queen City Grid Works.
Should we should we not have it?
Nah,
be
it's
that
all
high?
it's all just good. It's good. The thing slaps, dude.
Okay, so it's good.
I was using it after the Briar Brothers interview, like editing stuff. Messed with some settings, and it is sick. Now I can actually do clips again, because it was tough to do clips because I didn't know what the file was.
Right.
Because it was all just one big file. But now that I clicked some doodads and flipped some buttons and
some beans.
Well, since I did that, now it actually gives me a file that's all chopped up. So I can say, oh, I pressed this like 3 seconds too late, move it over a little bit.
That's cool.
And it fixes everything. Then I can do proxies now, so 4K video just goes right in, and then I can do a little switcheroo, you know?
So then do you want to dive into the episode since we figured that switcher out?
What do you mean? What would happen if we didn't figure the switcher out? We would just not dive into the episode?
We would basically suffer, and yeah, it would be a dumpster fire.
Yeah, go for it. You have
Okay.
a useless fact or what?
It's a good one.
Okay.
I think this one is going to make you think a little bit to rationalize the fact behind it. You know what I mean? Like it's going to make you think. Okay.
First of all, do you have chapped lips? Like ever?
Why?
I don't know, because I just had like a little chap on my lip, and I just took a little sip of whiskey, and it kind of stung.
Oh, I thought you were giving me a compliment where you're like, your lips are always moisturized.
Well, do you Vaseline them or something at night?
Ew. That's very aggressive. No, I just use chapstick when needed.
Isn't chapstick Vaseline?
I'm sure there's elements, but I don't use Vaseline on my lips. That's so intense. It's
People do that. It helps. People say if you use Vaseline on your lips, you'll never get chapped lips again.
Can you eat Vaseline?
Well, you're not like
It's
getting
on your
dime
lips.
sizes and swallowing. Pause. You're just rubbing it on those lips.
Yeah, but it's on your lips. You're absorbing it somehow. What if you eat something?
I don't think it's bad for you.
I'm not a fan of this. I want to move on from this. This doesn't make me comfortable. I'm uncomfortable.
What kind of chapstick do you use then? Burt's Bees?
Yeah, I use Burt's Bees, and then I use it's the black label instead of the blue label chapstick brand.
You use chapstick brand chapstick?
If I don't have Burt's Bees on hand.
That's like wearing a polo.
What does that even mean?
Like a Ralph Polo.
Oh.
Like, that's lame. Who wants to do that? Be creative. You're using chapstick, but that has some Vaseline in it.
Do you understand how expensive Ralph Lauren polos are?
Well, they got that off-brand thing, too. Like, they got that Ralph Polo, Lauren, whatever, and then they got just the dude playing polo, and they're like, this is polo.
Yeah, but
for like a third of the price.
Real Ralph Lauren is ungodly expensive.
For no reason. So is Hugo Boss. Same thing.
Well, Hugo Boss at least has some prestige to it. I mean,
Doesn't Ralph Lauren do it in like France or something weird?
Not here, correct. Yeah, not here. But I don't know. I mean, if your name is Chad and you went to a private school, then I would assume you're wearing Ralph Lauren or that Lacoste, whatever the
Lacoste,
the little alligator. Yeah, I'm sure that's.
I've always wanted them though. I love that little alligator. What about penguin? You ever wore penguin stuff?
No. So we still haven't gotten to the useless fact. Because I have real topics for today.
Okay, go for it. Jesus.
Okay, all right.
Don't attack me.
The Pentagon is larger than the Empire State Building in overall square footage. Isn't that insane to think about?
How tall is the Empire State Building?
It's like low 100 in floors. It's like 110, 120, something like that. But when's the last time you've seen the Pentagon in person? It is gigundous.
In person? I don't think ever.
Yeah. You've never been to D.C.?
Yeah, but I haven't gone to the Pentagon.
So you've went to D.C., but you didn't go to the Pentagon?
No, I just went to the White House. And then I saw Lincoln statue or whatever. And then I saw the whatever it's called.
This is a really good topic. Yeah, you're crushing all of these places.
I
went to the
care
whatever
about
the
politics.
I'm not saying that, but at least understand what the national monuments of the country are.
I know what they are. I just can't think right now. What's the?
Why? You
I don't
barely
know.
started drinking. What? I'm so lost.
What? I don't know. I don't even know where the Pentagon is. Like, I know where it is, but I've never been there. Isn't it only like 5 stories tall?
I mean, yes. Hold on. Let me get the first question for you.
You don't even know either.
Can you
You're
relax?
making fun of me.
Can you relax?
You do not even know.
There
at all.
are so many levels to this conversation. Empire State Building total floors. That's what you're looking for, right?
I'm gonna guess 136.
I was right. 102. Okay.
You did not say 102.
I said low hundreds. And
that
I think
could be literally anything.
I'm still
Definitely
right.
less than 1,000. I was totally right.
Whatever. Total floors of the Pentagon. 5.
Oh, I was right. I was legitimately right. I said 5.
Relax. Relax. Now.
I said under 10. I was right.
Now, correct. Now, with the Pentagon, Derek, it's massive in person, and the 5 floors that exist, it looks bigger than 5 floors in person. It's such a big building.
Well, and it's like the square footage of each floor is massive because then it's just it's a massive Pentagon.
What gave you that impression? What?
No,
how did you stumble upon that?
Isn't there a courtyard or something in the middle of it? Like, it's not just a full building that has 5.
No, correct. Yeah. So, good question. What's in the middle of the Pentagon building? At the center of the Pentagon is a 5-acre park that houses a now closed hot dog stand. Rumor has it that during the Cold War, the Russians never had any less than 2 missiles aimed at this hot dog stand. DoD communications officer Brett Eaton told the Stars and Stripes in 2010. The Stars and Stripes is like a famous publication for the military.
So Russia had missiles aimed at this hot dog stand?
Because it was in the center of the courtyard, in the center of the Pentagon. At the height of the Cold War.
5-acre courtyard.
5 acres.
Inside
a building.
a building.
That's redonkulous.
That goes to show you how much square footage it is.
Right. I mean, technically it's outside, but inside.
So is that being counted towards the overall square footage when it comes to...
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. So now...
How many square feet are we talking about? That's a real question. How many square feet is the actual Pentagon?
How many square feet is the Pentagon building? NSA is like, are these guys trying to take it over? Okay, it has 6.5 million square feet of office space, 3 times the floor space in the Empire State Building.
3 times?
Yeah. So it's 7,754 windows and 17.5 miles of corridors. Its spoken ring design means it only takes 7 minutes to walk between the furthest 2 points in the building.
What? It only takes 7 minutes to walk from the furthest 2 points in the building?
Yeah, because of the design of the interior. Because they have a spoken wheel design. So it all interconnects. So there's different shortcuts that you can take.
I'm just trying to think how long it would take for me to walk 5 acres.
Well, that's just on the inside.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what they're talking about.
What if the inside of the Pentagon has those accelerated horizontal
Hell
treadmills
yeah.
like what you see in the airports? It's like,
And
I will never be late for the meeting.
It's pretty sweet.
That's a good fact.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question.
On that fact?
No,
Oh,
absolutely not. This is... Okay. I like...
Okay, before we move on, let's talk about the Pentagon for a little bit. Was it an inside... No, I'm just kidding. When did that design... Like, who started that design?
Who designed the Pentagon
Yeah.
building?
I feel like that's a weird thing to design.
Ew, who called me? It's 6 p.m. Oh, it was a scam likely. Thank God. Okay. Who designed the Pentagon building?
Like, were they like, let's not do 4 because I don't like 4. 6 is weird, and we're going to go to 10 because my volume settings are either 0, 5, or 10. So we got to go 5 because 10's just obnoxious, and I'm not doing a decagon building.
What are you talking about?
The sides of the building.
Got it.
Like, who
Okay,
said 5
okay.
is good?
There's 2 architects. George Bergstrom and David Whitmer.
Is there like a strategic or reason why it's 5 sides?
In the early 1940s, they pitched it as a temporary solution to the then War Department's critical shortage of space as the threat of joining World War II became imminent. So they did it based on design. Okay, so Colonel Hugh Casey to come up with a building that would fit a 5-sided parcel of land that had been hastily purchased just below Arlington National Cemetery on the Virginia side of the Potomac River, almost adjacent to the current site. So they bought land. No one knew what to do with it because of its shape of the lot. And he's like, screw it, we'll just build a building in the shape of the lot. Hence why the Pentagon is the Pentagon.
Gotcha. So we did it out of necessity to fill a space.
What else is new?
It's kind of a lamer story, right? Weren't you hoping like there was some sort of military reason that missiles can't penetrate through a 5th wall?
Wow, that's a very obscure reference to come up with. I wonder where that came from, Derek.
I don't know.
Okay, anyways. No, I think
It's a lame reason.
it's also a very dark and depressing color of gray. Like it's like a gray black. It's a very mystique looking building. No, this is different.
Our walls are gray.
Derek referenced the literal walls that are gray. That's fine. That's different. So I don't know. It's got like a modern chic vibe to it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Side note, complete side note. I bought a teeter.
That's crazy. How is it?
Unbelievable.
What is the longest you can be on a teeter before you literally lose consciousness? Tell the
here-
peeps what a teet is.
Okay, so a teeter is an inversion table. Okay, so it's the brand. Teeter's the brand. They make the best inversion table on the market. Not just that pretentious. I got it on sale. I've wanted this thing.
How much was it?
Just over $300.
Oh, okay.
I had gift cards and Christmas money. So I spent a total of $120 on the thing.
That's like one episode that we record, so you're fine.
So the inversion table, you can buy it like at Dick's Sporting Goods, okay? It's 85% assembled out of the box. There's an app that you can download that walks you through, that walks through how to assemble it with voiceover as well. So you're not looking at the annoying photos in the owner's manual. It's fantastic.
Do they need us to do the voiceover? Did you talk to them?
No. So although the CEO is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous.
How long do you think she hangs there for?
So, anyways, for the teeter, there's a strap on the bottom that basically limits you to like here, which is all you really need. If you undo the strap, you can go full 180, I guess. Now, that's what is that angle? If you're directly upside down, if your feet
180.
Yeah, but would it 180 also be here? Because you just reverse the planes of what you measure 180 for? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it all depends on what your reference point is. If your reference point is standing up, then 180 is upside down.
Well, so we're always at 180 degrees when we're standing?
No, we're always at 0 when we're standing because that's where...
Well, why? All we did was reverse our head and our feet. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. We're always at 180, right?
No. It all depends on what you're measuring.
What do you mean? I'm measuring this object,
Okay.
which is our human body. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter if our feet are up or our heads are up. We're always at 180 degrees because we're standing. And then if we lay down horizontally in our bed, then we're also at 180 degrees, correct?
No. Okay, so again, you have
What do you mean no?
you have to explain. This is such a stupid conversation. If you're measuring your body, like you mean like, so I think you're talking about if you're laying flat.
I'm 180 degrees. Yes.
From your head to your feet, like the angle of your hips.
Yes.
You're saying is 100.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if I'm standing, I'm still at 180 degrees.
Your body is at a flat line, which is considered 180 degrees.
That's what I'm talking about.
But if you're talking about if you stand up like this and then you rotate like a clock and then you go upside down,
I'm still at 180.
Your relationship from your head where it was to your head now is 180 degrees.
Oh, so now I'm single.
Correct.
You started talking about relationships.
You really threw me through a loop there because I had no idea. But if you lay down, you're also at 180. I'm like, no, you're not.
But you are.
To an extent, yes, you are.
I'm a genius.
If you're measuring from the angle between your thighs and your stomach, you're correct.
So, okay. So long story short, you can go from, I don't know, 100 and, what is that? You're just sub 180. 190 degrees?
Again, it all depends on what you're referencing.
Well, right. Because if I'm referencing where my hand is and my elbow drops below 180, then I'm now above 180 degrees in reference to a 360 degrees. If I'm referencing my head, then it might be an obtuse angle. So I might, you know what I mean?
No, because you're not changing your body. Your body's staying flat regardless.
Nailed it.
Why are you getting so excited?
Because I feel like I'm learning.
If you're laying flat and then your legs drop like this.
Yeah, that's now 90 degrees.
Depends on where you're measuring.
What do you mean?
Because if you're measuring from your back to your butt, yes, it's 90. But if you're measuring from
what else would you
your
measure
stomach to your thighs, you're at 270 degrees.
This is fascinating. So either way, there's a strap. So there's a strap, okay? There's a strap that's underneath the inversion table that connects you to the actual table that rotates, and it limits you from going a full 180, like full vertical upside down.
Okay.
So, and that's all you need. So they recommend daily use for 3 minutes every day. That's it. 3 minutes every day.
That does what you need it to do?
Yeah, because all it does is it releases the tension. It decompresses your spine and your hips because there's so much weight coming down, right? 9.8 meters per second squared. So that's
just so wrong.
how is it wrong? It's terminal velocity with gravity.
But you're not constantly falling. You're not always traveling. Jesus Christ.
And I just started drinking. Why are you friends with me?
Oh my God, I don't. 9.8 meters per second squared. Like we're just constantly falling. Oh God! All right.
Okay, so yeah, dude. So when you come over, you got to hit the teat. You got to hit the teeter.
All at the time.
Yeah, dude, you got to hit the teat. And I use it as a verb now. I tell Colleen, like, I did back yesterday at the gym, got home, showered, hit the teat. You know, like, it's unbelievable. It's so beneficial. It feels great.
Got to get that protein milk.
That's what I'm saying.
So in the owner's manual, did you read the owner's manual or no?
To a degree, and I've been watching a couple
What
YouTube
degree?
videos on
180
it.
degrees?
No, I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos on it, mainly because the CEO is stunning. But she's so knowledgeable. You can stretch on this thing. You can say you're at a full 180. You can just because your ankles are locked, right? So then you can just legit reach left arm to right side and then right arm to left side and stretch out your hips. And because you're upside down and gravity's forcing you down, you can decompress your hips and your lower back at a different angle to loosen up your whole sciatic. Dude, it's unreal.
Yeah.
It's so sick. You gotta do it.
So do you actually, all seriousness, and can you look this up, know what the angle is that it puts you at?
Oh, I'm sure I can.
Because, I mean, if you're saying it's not that severe, it has to be, 30 degrees? It
depends on your relationship.
To straight. Your relationship to,
So what does the
horizontal.
teeter table
Decline angle.
strap limit you to? The weight limit's 300 pounds for the teeter table, just so you know.
Can't use that. JK, I'm down to 215, bud.
Let's see.
Just Google what's the angle of the dangle. What's the decline angle of the teeter? Say that.
What is the angle of...
The decline angle of the teeter.
Okay, hold on.
Because, if you're doing a decline bench press, you're probably only, 10 degrees down?
It's 60 degrees.
Oh, okay. That's actually more than I thought it was going to be.
60 degrees is the best angle to use on an inversion table per teeter.com.
Damn, that's actually pretty...
Mullen recommends limiting yourself to a 30 to 35 degree angle or a 10 to 15 degree angle for older adults. That was dated December 20th, 2017. So how do you set the angle on the teeter? That's with the strap. And then how long should you use the inversion table for sciatica? They say you want to limit your inversion table sessions to 5 minutes twice a day. Tip up slowly. After you've done it, come back up slowly to an upright position. But that's WebMD, so probably don't do that.
So have you yet, done that and then got up way too quick and just, lost consciousness?
No. I was only fully... I just wanted to see what it was like, because I haven't gone full 180, legit upside down since I used to work at Dick's Sporting Goods when we were in college, years ago, because I always wanted to buy one but can never afford it. And I used it before a shift when I used to work there. I would just do 3 minutes, hit the normal angle, decompress my back, and then work because I stood all day, on the laminate tile floor. So it was kind of frustrating. And it worked wonders. And I always said I would love to buy one. Now I finally did. But I went full 180 for I don't know, maybe at most a minute, and then went back to the normal angle. And then the first time I used it, I just completely relaxed myself, just exhaled, closed my eyes, and then after about I would say 30 to 45 seconds, I felt the pop in my lower lumbar and it decompressed. And then since then, my lower back has just been thanking me. So
you've actually felt the pops?
Oh, yeah. At my chiropractor, she used to do it's an actual stretching table. You lay on your stomach and then they kind of hook you up to all these different straps and then they decompress your spine. And it's kind of like a fancier, super more expensive inversion table, but you don't actually flip or rotate or anything. And then I told my chiropractic doctor that I wanted to get an inversion table, and she goes, yeah, like 100% do that. I was like, all right.
Oh, so she's the one that kind of got you to get one.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just wanted like a second opinion. And then from there, I was just like, if these things are in stock, I'm going to do it. And then did it.
That's sweet. That's really cool.
So when you come over, you can do it.
Okay.
It's sick.
I'll take all the change out of my pocket first,
Correct.
It's not rolling everywhere.
Empty your pockets. So, all right. Got a good question for you.
This isn't falling over to the next week, is it?
I don't know. Why? How long has it been?
How many episodes do you want to do today?
7? I have...
We're at 26 minutes.
Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 questions to ask you.
4 more?
Yeah. I have 4 questions to ask you that could potentially each be an episode, depending on how deep of a rabbit hole we go down.
All right. Well, then.
So let me hit the first one.
Okay. Okay.
And then we'll wrap out with this.
Sounds good.
Before making a phone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
Do I ever rehearse? I mean, it all depends what the phone call is. If I'm just calling you, like, what do you mean by rehearsing? Like, actually saying, like, playing out the phone conversation in your head? I only do that when it's something important, and I do actually do that. Like, if I am calling somebody for either a job interview or something where I feel like I'm going to get pushback, that's another thing that I rehearse. If I feel like I'm going to get into a discussion that isn't necessarily agreed upon on the other side, I'll rehearse it to make sure that I got my points down. But, like, if I'm calling you, I'm not rehearsing myself.
Unless you try to tell me you want to spend money.
No, even then, I just let the heart speak for itself, because we know what we need.
I know.
So you do?
Oh, yeah. Every time
Every
at
time?
work. Every time at work I do. Absolutely. If it's... that's pretty much it. That's, like, the only time.
I'm always a fly by the seat of my pants type of person, though. Like, even taking tests in school, like, I never studied. I was never one to rehearse things because I was just like, if I know it, I know it. If I don't, I'm not going to fake it.
How stressed were you not studying?
Not stressed because I knew most of it. And if I didn't know it, then clearly, I don't know, I needed to figure it out and guess. That's my whole life is just guessing.
Oh, my God. What a savage. Okay.
I'm just not that type of a person. I will say, though, I did have a weird point in my life. This is kind of related, but not really, where I would repeat the last thing I said, kind of like autistic or something. Like, it was really weird. I'm serious. Like, I would say something to you, and then I would, like, whisper it to myself back. And I knew that I was doing it, and I just couldn't stop it. And then I just stopped it one day. But I would do that very frequently, where I would be like, all right, Mom, I'm going outside. All right, Mom, I'm going outside.
Why?
No one would hear me.
Are you talking to the dead?
I guess so. I have no idea why I did it. I just know I did it every single time that I spoke.
How old were you?
Probably like 13, 14. Like, old enough to know what I was doing. Maybe even later than that. Maybe like 15, 16. I was old enough to know what I was doing and know that for some reason I couldn't stop, and knowing that it was weird.
I feel like that's high functioning autism and or Asperger's or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you ever, when you go upstairs, how many times do you count the stairs when you go up them or go down them?
Every single time.
Okay. You were scaring me there because I'm like, am I really the only one doing this?
I do weird stuff. I'll count stairs. I count teeth in my mouth. So I have a nervous tick.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It's not even a nervous tick at this point. I have nothing to be nervous about. I'm sitting inside my house and I'll count to 4. I'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And Colleen's just looking at me and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, counting to 4. She goes, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm just counting to 4. She goes, why? I'm like, I don't know. I have no reason to do it. And then my vampire teeth, like the fangs, I'll click them, like top and bottom, and then I'll go left to right, left to right, left to, and then I'll like consciously realize I'm doing it, and I'm like, this is why I'm always chewing gum. Like I have an actual, and this is why everybody in my life is, go see a therapist, Mike. It's okay. I'm like, why? What's going on? They're like, you shouldn't count to 4 watching a show.
I know.
And I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think it was because I was so afraid of being bad at math. This really came full circle.
You really think that that's wise because you're bad at math?
It was because I always, when I was a kid growing up, I hated math, bro. Like, as soon as you added English into math, I was out. Like, math A. Like, y equals mx plus b. Why are there letters in math? Math is numbers. You know what I mean? Don't do that to me. Yeah. I'm very black and white. So when they did that, I was so afraid of failing, which I did anyways, and I was so afraid. Like, when I passed math A, I cried. I passed the exam with a tutor who was a girl that was younger than me. Ended up dating her. And I passed math A, and I cried in class. And all my classmates were like, why are you crying? I was like, because I passed math. They're like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, this is huge for me because I'm so dumb. Like, I'm so bad at math. So I would force myself at night to try to do mental math. I would try to conceptualize it and make it make sense because I couldn't grasp it. So I would sit there and do simple math in the bathtub. And, like, anytime I was unwinding, I would just count. And I would try to make it make sense in my head, and I got really good up to 10. And then that was it.
You could crush through 1 through 10.
Yeah. But it wasn't just counting to 10. It was like I would take the numbers, and I'm like, okay, 7 plus 3 is 10. 6 plus 4 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, well, if I have 8 of something, and I would just spiral. And I would be like 5, 6 years old, and I would spiral. I'm like, if I have 8 of something, and then I add 2 more, then I have 10 of that thing. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then it became this nervous tick of me counting every stair. That's why I'm such a freak when it comes to numbers. It has to be an even number because then it makes sense. Yeah. It breaks down easier.
Like, so you're not a prime number guy.
Don't even talk about prime numbers, bro. No. Square root of things. Like, I can't. I forgot about prime numbers until this second.
Yeah, does 7 give you anxiety because nothing goes into 7 or 11?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did they choose 7-Eleven for the store name? That's a real question.
There's got to be an answer to that. Why is 7-Eleven called 7 days a week, 11 hours?
That's what I'm saying. Like, at least make it 7/24 then. 7/24 doesn't roll off the tongue though.
Why is 7-Eleven called 7-Eleven? Okay. In 1946, the name changed to 7-Eleven to reflect the new extended hours, which was 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. So they did it for hours, and then it stuck. Okay. And it was all because of 1946. The name was changed from Tote M to 7-Eleven.
Ew. Tote M? What does that even mean?
I'm going to go to Tote M, buy some gum.
Yeah. You want to go to Wilson Farms or Tote M?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I'm going to swing over to Tote M and pick up some fuel combustor and cleaner, whatever that nonsense is that we used to put into our Subarus to make sure we can drive to school.
Or Jolt energy drinks. When you were going upstairs and you were counting, were you singing the numbers or were you just like 1, 2, 3? Or were you like 1, 2, 3? Like, how do you count?
I don't sing. That's very...
what about like if you do ABCs? Do you just talk the ABCs or do you sing the ABCs?
It depends on my mood. It depends on my mood and vibe. That's for sure. I try to say them and then I fall into singing them. But numbers I can just count.
Okay, so what if right now I tell you what's after J? Go.
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of both. It is because I'm just like, okay, A B C D E, K. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then for stairs, I'll count like 2 at a time. That's how I always take stairs 2 at a time. I'm like I don't have time for each single stair.
Right.
But yeah, like there's 11 stairs in my dad's house. There's 11 stairs in my house. It's annoying. But
so you remember too.
Yeah.
You probably have some sort of high functioning autism too.
1,000%. Mixed in with a lot of trauma.
Do you that has to be a scale, right?
Dude,
like everybody has to have a little autism in 'em, right?
Everybody's autistic. I'm convinced everybody's on some sort of spectrum for autism. And they were trying to diagnose me with all this nonsense, like ADD, ADHD when I was a kid. I'm like, dude, I'm a boy with energy.
Right.
Like, let me just go eat wood in the backyard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a lab. Just let me go run around.
I feel like diagnosing kids. I hate that we have to say this, but we do. We are not medical professionals. We don't know what we're talking about with anything that we say. So I'm not saying this out of an abundance of knowledge. I'm saying this out of just being a genuinely curious male. I feel like giving a kid with ADHD, giving him medicine to calm him down, does significantly more harm than good.
It has to.
It has to, right? Because every single thing has side effects. Just let the kid have energy. Like, what issue does ADHD actually pose? That you can't, it's that you can't pay attention to things, right?
ADD is you can't pay attention. ADHD is just like an insane amount of energy. And you're like one thing to the next. Like yeah.
Like you can't focus your attention on one thing.
And they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
But
Generally.
then that could probably just be that they're not interested. I wasn't interested in anything when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like if you put a wrestling show on and they like wrestling, first of all, Saudis are buying WWE. That's sweet. But
what?
Yeah, I know they're gonna start beating women again, I guess. But anyway, lack of knowledge, but that's what I think. So I feel like just giving somebody ADHD medication has to be bad.
Why are the Saudis buying WWE?
To the real point. I don't know. It's either WWE or WWF, one of the two. One of them's still around.
WWF was gone by the wayside years ago.
But they might be coming back.
WWF became WWE.
Google it. What wrestling organization is the Saudis buying? Google it.
Unless they're buying the women's wrestling league.
No, they're literally buying a wrestling league. And then on the podcast, it was the Shane Gillis podcast with Joe Rogan when they were talking about it, because they pulled up a video of an 80-year-old woman being suplexed into a table.
They're not favored to buy it anymore.
Oh, they're not? Okay,
No.
That's good.
No. They were trying to eye the purchase of WWE a week ago. And then 5 days ago, there's been a lot of rumors about who might be buying it. The rumor of the Saudis investment fund buying the WWE is basically fallen by the wayside.
Okay.
It's not favored to be the buying company. Let's see. They're not considering the favorites to buy the company anymore. So, yeah. Initially, they were rumored to do it, and then not now. So,
well, good.
That's the
good.
update.
That makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. We'll round this one out. We'll dive into the next weekly episode, and then we'll start with sponsors, and we'll dive into the episode topic.
Sounds good. Thank you, everybody, for joining today's episode. Please remember to always drink responsibly. Be a person. And Michael.
Do not litter.
We're out.